I'm standing here. You make the move. You make the move. It's your move. Try it, you.
Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Shout out to Lady Libra in the house. We are here getting ready for the Dan Selio show. They're, of course, riding high, feeling good about themselves, trash talking me and the Cowboys Nation. Let me, I tell you what, let's listen into them.
Yeah, he's Andy Reid's OC.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm waiting on
Matt
being able to
Nagy's
join this. Here's what we know thus far as the Cowboys schedule goes. We have the Eagles week 1. We know week 1 we got the Eagles.
Man, I'm letting you hear.
We've got the Giants week 2. We got the Giants week 17, the end of the season. Hopefully that game won't mean anything.
Really Ringo at the top of my
Yeah,
mind.
that's true. Well, we could, but it would be cold as shit. It's the last game of the season.
Dude, if Keely
Or I'm sorry, second to last game of the
I am
season.
never going to let you hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, last game of the season. No, second to last game.
I'm not concerned.
That's in New York. And we've got the Kansas City Chiefs for Thanksgiving and the Commanders
Keely Ringo's got a shot
for Christmas.
I do not.
And then the rest of this will probably be released a little bit later. What's interesting was I was watching some of the Dallas Cowboys simulcasting on all of their channels, along with Micah Parsons on his channel. The Cowboys basically on a golf course having, I guess, bonding games. And we saw Schottenheimer taking a shotty shot. He had a cup with a drink in it, and they said they want to know what you're drinking. He said, it's a shotty. I got a shotty. Okay. So there's that. Logan, your schedule is brutal for you. Lady Libra in the house. Shout out to Lady Libra, double dipping on both channels. Bobby Beninsky. Nobody cares about Micah and CD's channel. Well, here's what's interesting. Micah Parsons, when he was asked about what is the score going to be like season opener, he said 24-21 Dallas Cowboys. And he was talking about Quentin Mitchell, and they called him Guantanamo. Yeah, he was trashing the Eagles a bit. And we know Dak Prescott, he's not scared of the Eagles. He says we played some of our best ball against them. So shots fired against the Eagles. Now we'll see how Philly.500. We will shut up Michael Parsons' mouth. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Oh, you're telling me Milton Williams helped Jalen Carter out more than the other way around?
Okay.
I'm telling you, yes.
Oh, Lordy.
No, not more. Are you kidding? Not more. No.
Dan Selio doing Dan Selio things right now.
The impression then that with those two guys and what Jalen Carter did for those two guys, even though he was the third most,
and your cupcake schedule was 23,
that somehow magically, without those two players in there, is going to improve with Moro Jomo and Chocolate Thunder, or what's his name?
Wait, so
the Great White Hope.
Facts, Bobby. Cowboys versus Commanders on Christmas Day. Yeah, we got that.
You really believe that you're going to see less?
Okay. Let me go ahead and get in on
and the rest of these dudes than what you saw a year ago. You're hot.
Listen closely.
You know what that is? That's Jordan Davis on his back.
That's Jordan Davis. That's his Boro and Jomo. That's his feet
great,
coming in
Are you
and dismantling the offensive
Let's
line. You didn't get me once today.
Get you once? No, you didn't have
Okay,
to
there we
because
go.
you're delusional.
We're on their
You're
feed
like on
now.
the Jim Jones juice.
Yo, Mark, I
Jerry
see
Jones.
Holmes in the green room. I know I was telling him the Cowboys going to be the 2 seed in the East. And all. They're going to get embarrassed in week 1. Don't you feel bad for
we're
them?
going to get embarrassed week 1.
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys are going to walk in there.
They're going to get absolutely
by the way.
Here we go.
You know how?
That's if Pickens, by the way, makes it through training camp.
Oh, man. Okay, Pickens going to make it through training camp. Okay. All right.
You're going to date the hottest chick in the room. You're in the room. You see her. You go up there, and she looks at you and goes, "You're kidding, right?"
He's had that happen to him a lot.
They're going to go like this. Look.
I got to be honest, Sills, I don't know what you're talking about because that never happened to me.
Me too, actually, too. I married a prom queen. How you doing? So I get that. Let's read these supers before we get
He's talking some smack here. Okay.
Mr. Cowboy himself.
All right, let's go. Fleming, what's up, Brian? Fleming? He says, I'd rather have Sills after 12 Coronas and a full plate of Scungil at that corner than Keely Ringo.
Oh, damn. Okay.
JD3 says, Makuba stands will be crying for CJ, just like we did in 23. He talked too much and played too aggressive, but he was the first.
Oh, this is going to be fun today.
Beaten coverage multiple times last year. He's one of the worst guys on our team.
This is going to be fun.
Listen, and every year he was an Eagle, they were in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that was only because of
I'm sure that was no. According to Xander, that's just coincidence.
Yeah, the free safety. Guys, without him, we wouldn't have won it.
I'm sure that, the 12 turnovers had no impact on the number one ranked pass defense.
Yeah.
I'm just sure.
Hey, Ryan, how are you doing? Kenny, how are you doing over there? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Survived the loss of Isaiah.
The only banner Dallas will see is Philadelphia's. Okay. All right, Bobby.
Eric Lucetta says, with the coaching on defense, I'm confident anything is
Bobby
possible.
Benitsky got
Coaches don't play snaps, son.
Kimbo says, Villa and Watson.
Dan Sleo's not even credible.
You're not talking about that dude who ate Jordan Davis, are you? Is that who she's talking about?
What is that Parsons clown done versus Eve?
The guy that got drafted this year? Kimbo, that guy's not ready to play in the NFL yet. I'm sorry. No way.
Josh
B.
What's up, Lord Nova? Jimbo. What's going on, Jimbo?
Josh B says, why can't Morrow
Miguel, they're getting Mark fired up. Tell him there's something in the air tonight.
Josh.
Yeah, there you go. Great song, man. I remember when that song came out. I was in high school, man.
Where I think he's
best weightlifting song ever.
Where the greatness of Jordan Davis comes in.
Milton, well, wait, that guy's
the Eagles' schedule is brutal, Mark.
Very much impact on him. He's playing next to Carter.
I see we got plenty of Eagle fans up in here already.
83 says 11
Rodney
and 6,
Peterson,
10 and 7,
fly Eagles fly, Dak's a bum.
Just hope they click at the right time. Too much McMullen.
All right.
Well,
we're about Prince 5 minutes away. We're in the green room.
Right, we got them all. Oh wait, one more. Kokorski says, me trusting Ringo to play cornerback is the same as Sirianni calling.
Damn.
Kokorski, you've been out on this team for months, dude. What's going on over there?
Hey, Kyle, just remember
Selio.
George Seifert. That's who Nick Sirianni is. George Seifert. Always remember that, my friend. Hey, if you want to get a good taste of Big Sills, all you got to do is tune in to Birds 365.
Damn.
Those guys.
We the ones just waiting here in the green room.
Maybe they've been Selio
to join Dan Selio.
He's no longer John McMullen. He's John Selio.
What happens when you listen to Big Sills, Sander? Great work. Hey, by the way, dog.
Which one? Wait, Prince is crying. Has Prince? Yo, Prince, I'm waiting for the day that comes where you're not crying about some shit.
Seriously, man, this guy needs a bottle of Midol.
Damn,
Prince's
bottle of Midol.
Well, no, I own you a shirt. We got that, Prince. Which one?
Give me a win. We want to walk.
Is it this one? You and J-Mac had us worried about the AFC North 4-0 last season. The schedule is what it is. As a fan, I don't see anyone matching up to us winning. We got that one too. Prince played it. Prince, word is
all right, so I'm the fresh meat for the channel.
Prince.
All right, I'm out of here, Stills.
Hey, brother, keep up the great work on
Thank you, bro.
Bird 365. Make sure all you fools check it out. Thank you guys so much, Big Z. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we can win. Anytime you say anything negative about your girlfriend, Jalen Hurts, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
he's the
Lordy.
best guy. And you're like, dude, I mean, honestly, how many times have
Ernesto, I've got some.
How many times have you ever heard this? Can you imagine saying this in Dallas? Well, we didn't really need Dak all year, so we're going to put him in the shed for 17 weeks. But when we need him, we'll pull him out. Like, nobody has that distinction in the history of pro football. Nobody. Hey, I don't need Joe Montana for 17 weeks, but we'll pull him out because Roger Craig has been great all year. Hey, let's play that game before I get Marcus. Let me read this super market. I'll get to you. Philly.500 is going to join us in a second. So let me get this. I didn't really need Roger Staubach at all ever. I mean, shit. I just kept him in the barn and we played Craig Morton. We didn't really need anybody. So, wait a minute. We're going to bring Staubach out when we need him. Who in their right mind would ever put that tag on Patrick Mahomes? Hey, Patrick, don't worry about it. We don't need you for 17 weeks because we're going to run with Freddie Pacheco, Ali's doctor. I'm like, bro, he's the only guy on the planet that has this distinction. Am I wrong? Hey, don't worry. Jalen wasn't really asked to do anything with his 18 touchdown passes.
Yes, Linda, you are the champ.
His $2,000 passing yards. He didn't need to because they had Barkley. I've never heard that before. It's the lamest excuse.
He's never heard that before.
Guy that was told to sit down. I've never heard that.
You've never heard it, sis.
Here, Xander, this type of energy, I want to see when people want to tell us the uncertainty with all the changes, guarantees we won't win a Super Bowl or the division. Championship energy, says Brandon. Keep it up, kid. I know that you think all those wonderful exits that you've had on your team, that you've got the replacements.
Aisha Robinson, how you doing, girl? Dirty Sanchez in the house. Dan, 1995. Miguel.
Kyle, you don't.
All right. They're getting Mark fired up. Tell him there's something in the air tonight. You would have loved to see me back in the field back in the day. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
We'll take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Jerry Jones's last hurrah, basically. And here, so far out of the gate, I love the Cowboys. They got Eagles, Giants, and Jets. Okay?
Oh, we got the Jets now being reported. Okay.
Profanity. Kyle, stop. Ashton Sales, dick, you bitch. So come on, how could you lose such?
Shout out to Aisha. Sorry, kind of getting this thing together. Appreciate you for 51 months.
It's okay, honey. It's okay. Don't let Prince get underneath anybody's skin. Because his new nickname is Princess.
Okay.
All of that said, here are the Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Broncos. Let's bring our boy in, man, and see how he's feeling about the Dallas Cowboys. Taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in the opener Thursday, September 4th. Of this year. Mark Holmes joins us now.
Where's my bottle? Where's my bottle of liquor? What's going on, Big Sills?
How you feeling about that opener?
I'm feeling, you know what? It might be actually good for the Cowboys to play the Eagles week one. And, it doesn't really, I mean, let's be really clear here. I know the champ's not here. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. But the Eagles aren't going to know what to expect from the Cowboys. You've got a whole new coaching staff. We've got quite a few new players. And, there's not really a known commodity like there is with the Eagles. You know basically what the Eagles are going to do. Granted, they will have a new offensive coordinator. But they probably aren't going to change a whole lot. The second thing with the Eagles is, if you remember the opening game against Green Bay, they kind of started out real slow. I believe Jalen Hurts had 2 interceptions in the first half of that game. And it's a possibility that the Cowboys could jump out on them. Third thing is at the moment, you've got Circle on the calendar and you're hearing everybody shit on you and telling you you've got no chance, that they could get pumped up and have this whole mentality of us against the world.
I would say this to you, Mark. I would say this to you. For the Cowboys to have a shot in this game, you got to keep the Eagle defense, in my opinion, on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't allow the Eagle offense to stay on the field, especially if they're going to run the football. Okay? They're not. They've got to keep that offense on the field. Do you think you have enough to do that? Because the Eagle defense will be tested. And again, I don't care who you are. They don't have one player that they're replacing this year that's with a better player that played a year ago on that side of the ball. They just don't. It's all conjecture and it's all hey, I feel this guy will do it. Well, again, I'll tell you what I feel when people say that. That's potential. You know what potential means to me? You haven't done it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think they have enough of the firepower to at least – you need to make this game a fourth quarter ball game.
I agree on that one. And, getting George Pickens, everybody's shit on George Pickens, and everybody's saying he's a locker room cancer. But thus far, everything you've heard from George Pickens, even with Steeler fans going after him, has been saying the right thing. I don't know how Stephen Jones, and if you tell Stephen Jones, tell him that I think that this is the best move that they have done in forever. You got a guy who's dirt cheap, who is trying to get paid. You only gave up a third-round pick. He's hungry, and he knows if I stay out of trouble and I perform on the field, I'm going to get big-time money, whether it's from the Cowboys or somebody else. And so he's going to be out here to ball out. You got Dak Prescott, and I know Eagle fans just say, poo-poo and try and say the only time the Cowboys ever win is when it doesn't matter or it's not playoffs. But the Cowboys with Dak Prescott plays really, really well with them. Now having CD and George Pickens, who can take your guys deep, if Ferguson is healthy and gets back to where he was 2 years ago, and with our running game, you can spread the field out. That's something we could not do last year. I see you laughing.
Hang on here. We can't leave him muted like this. We have to bring in the champ.
Oh, here we go.
Have to bring in Philly.500 now. Let's bring his butt in here, man. He's seething at the bit here. Let's bring in Philly.500 here, man. He can't take it. I could have swore I saw a vomit bag getting pulled out like an airplane vomit bag when this guy was talking. Philly.500, what's your retort?
Golden era.
Lordy.
Let's do it. Listen, this guy is so full of garbage. It's not even funny. Oh, everybody's against George Pickens. They hate the trade. Us, Dallas, everybody's picking on us. But we are going to come through and show everybody this. All a bunch of crap. All right? Everybody knows that the Pickens trade was a good trade for them. Nobody said it was a bad trade. What people said was that the guy's, he has, mental breakdowns and stuff, and he could be a locker room problem, which I don't think is going to be a factor.
I don't.
But he's trying to downplay his team right now so that everything that they do looks better. I know how this guy thinks. I know how he operates. And he ain't.
Are you trying to set us up here, Mark Holmes? Because you
me? Hold on. You already have Vegas with you guys being a 7-point, favorite, right? Right? 7 points.
That's it. I thought it would be more. 7 points.
Dude, we even had OTAs mini camps yet. Okay, how the hell can you put 7 points? 7 points. You have no idea who's even making the roster. I don't even know who's going to be, running backs for us right now. How are you going to say that they're already 7-point favorites? They got us dead and buried.
Man, what do you make? Hey, Philly.500.
The line.
What about the line there being only 7 points?
That'll come down to a reasonable number, like 4 or 5 by the time they started the season. It's in May. They're trying to get people to bet the game. That's no biggie. It's no biggie at all. I think he's making a mountain out of a molehill.
How about this one here for you? Here's your starting of the season here. Cowboys September 4th.
Boom.
Chiefs.
Boom.
Rams.
Boom. Boom.
Bucks.
I love it. Yeah.
Broncos.
Damn.
Week 6 Giants. Week 7 Vikings. Week 8 Gigantes. Week 9 is your bye. Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Week 10. Lions turn around NFC North battle again.
Yeah.
Look at that there. Hey, Mark. Huh?
Damn.
Then you have Cowboys again in Week 12 in Arlington. Then you got Chicago, the Chargers. It's in Week 15. And you close up shop with Washington, Buffalo, and Washington again.
Damn.
That end of the schedule.
That's a gauntlet.
I feel great. Are you kidding?
I
love
got you
it.
11 wins in that thing.
All right. I mean, I haven't gone through it yet. I haven't looked at the times and certain things. So I don't know what my schedule is, but like my prediction week to week. But I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere between 12 and 14 games. I think somewhere in there.
With that defense?
Damn.
Yeah, with that
Almost
defense.
question
You're
mark
damn
there.
right with them defense.
Hold on.
It's only a question mark until it's answered very shortly after the season begins, which it will
Name
be.
me one place where you feel the replacement is better than the guy
Running back.
No, on defense.
On defense, I would say I like the depth at the edge better than I did a year ago. Because I think Jalix Hunt is a star. And I think Jalix Hunt is going to make people forget about Josh Sweat. But I also like Azeez Ojulari coming in, rotating in. And I also like Uche. These are guys that can produce in rotational ways. So in some ways, I kind of like the depth at the edge a little more than I thought I would early in the offseason.
Mark, what about your depth on your team? I mean, look, this is the only offseason I've ever seen where Cowboy guys, you're not really talking about what you're building. What are you building? It's not a goof, but do you feel the organization is at least heading in the right direction?
Oh, hell yes.
Bettering the football team now with the draft picks and free agency. I mean, give me a sense of what you guys are talking about here, because it just looks like it's stagnant a little to me.
No, I have to disagree with you on that, because the moves the Cowboys have made, they're not the Saquon Barkleys. Let's be real here. Okay, that was that and the Derrick Henry were probably the two biggest moves. Derrick Henry just got his extension, 2 years, $30 million. Congratulations to him. But the Cowboys' biggest problem last year was there was no depth whatsoever. When we ended up having 3 edge rushers hurt by beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden Brandon Cooks goes out and he's got a knee infection and he doesn't play. The cupboard was bare. The Cowboys have gone through, and instead of getting aging guys at the end of training camp, they've gone out and they've tried to fill in each of the positions. We've got some more depth, and I don't think that they're finished just yet. The fact that we have now Pickens as opposed to a broke-down Brandon Cooks is a major upgrade. The fact that we don't have old-ass running backs like Dalvin Cook and Zeke Elliott that we've gotten, probably Miles Sanders may not make the roster. Javonte Williams is not a bad back. Jaden Blue has got some speed. A lot of what we have is potential, and it's definitely now a younger roster. So I look at it and say, instead of looking at old guys like D-Law who can't stay healthy, I'm looking at a guy like Donovan Easy.
How do you feel about your offense matched up against a football defensive team with the Eagles that have lost 2 people in the secondary and 2 people in the D-line? And again, I don't know who's starting at the other linebacker right as of right now. It might be Trotter. It could be the kid they got from Georgia, depending on where they are with Dean. How do you feel with Dak going into that versus that secondary and that defensive group, which people, if you talk in Philly, they think there's no issue. But to me, I think last year you had a historic defensive football team, and I don't think you improved yourself anywhere. And again, to what 500 said, he said he feels good about the edge. Well, they didn't have superior edge rushers last year. They won a Super Bowl without a superior edge. They didn't really need anybody. They had great play in the secondary, great linebacker play, and great edge play when it came to their defensive ends. How do you feel with the Cowboys lining up on the opening week against a defense that, how about I use what Philly.500 says, with potential that we haven't seen yet? How do you feel about Dak lining up against that team?
Well, Dak is about really the only known quantity, him and CD. Everything here is, potential as far as what we've got. We got Tyler Booker, who doesn't seem to be scared of Jalen Carter. Will Tyler Guyton be a credible, left tackle? I don't know. But I do know one thing. Having Pickens out there and CD Lamb will stretch the field. You can't double cover both of those guys. And if Dak Prescott is healthy with the way he's always played against the Eagles, I think you got a good chance against that defense.
Hey, 500, let me put this to you, put it this way here. All right. So you're telling me you're going to have Terrence Steele and Tyler Booker. That'll be your right side guard and tackle tandem. And over on the left side, It's Tyler Guyton and Tyler Smith. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to have.
And Cooper Beebe in the middle.
And Cooper Beebe in the middle, snapping footballs to his mom. Okay, that guy. I mean, 8,500. How do you feel about Jalen Carter playing?
I feel like it's a break for the Eagles. I mean, Tyler Booker's first game is going to be against Jalen Carter. I mean, that's the hell of a person to go play your first game of your career.
Tyler Guyton's first game was against Myles Garrett.
I don't give a shit. I'm talking about Tyler Booker. The Cleveland Browns stink, right? What
Myles Garrett doesn't.
No, but he didn't have a lot of help. With the rest of the team, let's face it. I don't think. The reason why Dallas won that game versus Cleveland, if we're going to talk about it, wasn't because Dallas's offense was so superior. It was because the offense of the Browns couldn't move the ball. I think they had like 3 first downs. That was one of the worst offensive outputs I've ever seen by a professional football team. So let's just make sure.
Let me make sure I get this straight. I'm in a no-win situation here. If I say that the Cowboys stink, you turn around and say I'm trying to play psychology on it. If I say we got a chance, you tell me we got no chance. You're an idiot. There is no right answer here for me.
I didn't call you an idiot. I didn't call you an idiot. I just said I don't agree.
It's implied.
It's implied. I've never seen Cowboy fan more sensitive right now than what I'm watching with Mark Holmes.
I'm not sensitive.
I thought you had some cannolis on you and your Cowboy.
I'm happy.
I didn't say you
okay.
idiot.
Compared to how I was during the season, I have some hope now. Okay. When it used to be coming on here, I try and get lit up before I got on the show.
Yeah, well, we'll see where you're at week 5.
Hey, I do want to say this to Mark, and I want Philly.500 to hear this.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Have you in your entire life ever heard this as an excuse for somebody that plays the quarterback position? Here's the quote. We didn't need to use him last year because we had Saquon Barkley. Can you name another quarterback in NFL history that you would go for 17 weeks?
Who said that?
Well, nobody in their right mind would say he had a good year last year.
Oh, shit.
Who said
Eagle fans would.
Said that quote?
Eagle fans say that all the time.
Nobody's ever said that. I've never heard that.
Well, then what was the reasoning?
That is so out of context.
What was the reasoning why?
That is a lie.
Then what was the reasoning why you were 30th in passing last year?
We didn't have to pass the ball a lot. That doesn't mean we couldn't. That's not the same. No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not. No, nobody said we didn't need him. Nobody's saying we didn't need him. But you didn't have to throw the ball 35 times a game because your running back was running for 2. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said they didn't have to throw the ball 35 times a game. They didn't have to throw the ball that much. So the statistics and ranking are lower. That's not saying what you're saying, and what you're implying is that we're saying that we don't need them, we don't use them because we don't have to. What I'm saying is the way the game goes.
Why did he have?
They don't have to. Should he? What moronic coach would you have as a coach? Would you throw the ball 40 times when you have Saquon Barkley?
No. Here's what I'm. No, I wouldn't because you know why? No other team, including the Ravens, who had a quarterback go for 4,100 yards and 40 touchdowns, would they ever look at Lamar and go, "Hey, you hang it on over there because Derek's going to carry the mail, and we don't need
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. But the style of play the Eagles
last year,
they run the ball. They run the ball.
Why did he suck throwing the ball last year?
I don't think he sucked throwing the ball last year.
You don't think there's only 2 worst passing offenses in the NFL than that?
I don't think he sucked when teams played the Eagles and shut down the run and did a good job against the run. Jalen Hurts stepped up in every one of those teams.
So when they need
the Super Bowl, including
him,
Pittsburgh.
Wait a minute. You're saying when they needed him, he stepped up, but they didn't really need him the whole time.
Not in the way you're implying it. The way you're implying it, the context of what you're saying is that we're like, "Hey, Jalen, sit on the sideline, and we'll call you if we need you." Nobody's saying that.
No, everyone's
saying that. No, nobody said that. That is like CNN saying that some secret source said something.
Excuse is this
bullshit.
Okay. Let me. Can I ask a question here?
Please.
Okay. First of all, I'm enjoying the eagle on eagle crime here. There's nothing better than that. But my question would be is, hypothetically, let's say Saquon was not your running back. Let's say, I don't know, that Zeke Elliott was.
Well, then
would you be winning the Super Bowl, and would Jalen Hurts be only throwing 23 passes a game?
I don't think you win the Super Bowl, Mark, without Saquon Barkley. I agree. But let me tell you something. How far do you go without Saquon Barkley? We've already known. We've already seen it. We go to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has already taken the Eagles to a Super Bowl. So don't tell me that the guy can't win or the guy can't pass. So you want to talk about stats. Oh, he didn't throw for 4,000 yards, and he didn't have 30 touchdown passes. Okay, great.
He's not.
But the guy's been to 2 Super Bowls. How can you say that a guy's not counting on it? The
only year, Mark, that he was ever counted on a week-to-week basis that he played really well was 22. He's never played another year.
He didn't play good last year. They won the Super Bowl, but he didn't play good.
He's never played another year, Mark.
You're too in love. You're too in love with statistics and passing numbers.
No, those are
if there's average. Okay, wait. Hold on.
Herbert.
Philly, you're a dingbat.
He says I'm
not a dingbat. You're a dingbat. Look,
no, bro.
And he's never won shit.
If you are in a position, listen, congratulations. You guys did a great thing that you figured out. The best way to win is not to have it through solely your quarterback's arm.
That's right.
Okay? Kansas City went to that game and said, we know Saquon's going to beat us. So we're going to put 8 men in the box. If you got 8 men in the box and you got single coverage on your great wide receivers that you have, yes, your quarterback is going to have better games because he has an advantage. If you are only passing the football to 1/3 of the time, the defense is not going to be able to sell out to go after the quarterback's ass, in which case you'll have more time. His job is easier.
So early in the career of Dak Prescott, when you had Zeke Elliott running the ball, however many times he was running the ball, and 26. Dak was limited his throwing, and everybody said Dak was a deke and dunker. He didn't have to pass to win. They counted on the run game. So what you're saying,
he was still getting more than 21 TDs a season.
Dak failed because he couldn't do the things in between the run game.
Dak never had the loaded roster that you had on both sides of the field, bro.
Yeah, right. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, they didn't expect Jalen Hurts to win, and then sit there and then say Dak Prescott didn't do it. It wasn't his fault.
When Zeke Elliott was running the ball really well, which 2019 was the last year that he did, we had chopped liver. We literally had Cole Beasley, Terrence Williams, and a rookie, Michael Gallup, and we said, shit, we got to get a receiver, and we had to go out and get Amari Cooper in the middle of the season when we were 3-5.
Right. And then 2 years later, he threw 37 touchdowns. 37 touchdowns. And then he went to the playoffs and did shit.
How about this? Here, Billy, let me ask you this. You say that I love stats. No, I'm looking at the money. I mean, you're spending money at those perimeter positions to run the ball 38 times a game?
Well, I'll ask you this. To me, it's not spending money 38 times a game. It's spending money to win a Super Bowl. To have a quarterback out there go out and win a Super Bowl. Do you believe the
Eagles are spending that money at $51 million between both guys to have a 30th ranked offense passing?
No, they're spending the money to have people who can win.
Okay,
that's what they're spending their money on. They're spending their money on people.
Spend the money.
They're not worried about the 30th ranked passing offense. They're worried about, do I have a quarterback that can win when it matters? They spend money in the O-line to win. They spend the money on all of it to win. That's the whole point, right?
So let me say this. So let me ask you this: in Cincinnati, if the Bengals had the 30th ranked offense and they're spending $55 million on the quarterback and $55 million on the receivers, you're saying they're spending money on it to win, even though they're not going anywhere with it. And I mean, they start running the ball all of a sudden.
Then they get frustrated and they say, "Well, my money wasn't well spent."
So you think the money's well spent?
And there you go.
You think the money's well spent?
I think the money's well spent when you win a Super Bowl and the guy that you gave the money to goes out and wins an MVP. I do.
No, he played in that game great. He was unbelievable in that game.
His best two games were the biggest games of his career, Sills. So every time Jalen Hurts is in a big moment and he has to make plays, he does it. Maybe he has less opportunities to pass as other teams. Fine. No. But that's not because he can't do it.
That's right.
Barkley's that good.
No, I know that. Did you bring him out when you need him? I get it. I understand it.
It sounds so bad, but that's not what I mean. That's not what. That's That's CNN right there. That's some twisting words.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Are you feeling any optimism? Now, look, I got to say this to you, man. This league kisses your asses. You're telling me you start the first 3 weeks out with Philly, the Jets, and the Giants? Look, I know they want you to get to the playoffs and all, but I mean, do they have to tee the bitch up for you?
Well, let me interject with a little bit something here. You've got now the Dallas Cowboys promoting CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Osa Diggins-Zua. No, they're actually doing a live stream schedule release thing that's going on, and Micah was asked about the Philly game, and he put it out there. Cowboys are winning this thing 24-21.
Micah said it.
Micah said it. I've got it on videotape.
Your team's stupid.
And he called Quentin Mitchell, Guantanamo Mitchell. I don't know where they're going to the stuff. So you've got the Cowboys. Their players they're not showing any fear right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's like, this is either the Cowboys rise up and get back to being actually America's team, or they literally are going to crash and burn. With Kansas City on Thanksgiving, with Washington on Christmas, this season opener, I guarantee every primetime game is going to be a big game where, the Cowboys have the opportunity to look great or just look like bums.
Damn, Philly.
I haven't
What's
seen
that score again, Mark?
24-21 is what Micah Parsons called.
24-21. Micah Parsons is barking. They're going to take out the Cowboys, or they're going to take out
the Eagles.
September 4th in Philly, right there with the banner dropping. You guys are going to drop it out.
Can say. I mean, I don't see how that helps. Dallas.
I'll be honest with you now. The Cowboys, this will be the third time they have played the defending Super Bowl champions. We played against the New York Giants after their last Super Bowl, and FYI, that was Joe Boo's very first game, and it seems like they've been cursed ever since. They ended up playing against Tampa Bay. Dak had like 400 yards passing in that game, and they lost 31-29, but it was a lot closer than anybody thought it would be going against Tom Brady. And now we got the Eagles. And, if you're the Cowboys and you're sick of that ass whipping that you took twice last year from you guys, that's a pretty big motivation to say, let's screw up your...
9-4 versus the Eagles.
Oh, go ahead, shake your head. Oh, well, none of those games matter.
Meaningless statistic.
Say, there you go. Oh, none of those games matter.
Meaningless statistic ever. How can Mark sit there and bring up 9-4, even though you didn't bring it up, but I know you're thinking it?
So,
how can it even
if the Cowboys win and it ends up being 10-4, will it still be a meaningless statistic?
But how come the statistic of Dak's 2 playoff wins is meaningless more so than that? How is that even possible?
We're talking about your Super Bowl, Super Bowl party, your coronation. If the Cowboys, who you say stink, come into your house and kick your teeth in at your party,
right?
It'll be a meaningless stat.
No, that's not a meaningless stat. That's a great win. But you can't say 9-4 through his career. You're not talking about the same
We're talking
team.
Okay, what we're talking about
the
is
2016 team, 2017 team, which I think swept you. Then you're talking about 2018, 2019. We had a lot of ups and downs. Now, You got to go beat the team that won a Super Bowl last year. That's a whole different story.
No,
I don't
wait a
think
minute.
you're 9-4.
You don't have that
any
team.
part of that.
That February 9th team is not going to be lining up.
Well,
September
it's not
4th.
it's not the same exact team, I know, but it's the closest thing we're going to get. So,
Do you agree with this one, Philly? That you guys may have taken 2 steps back, but you would have had to have taken 5 steps back for the other guys in the league to catch you.
Yeah, I can see that at some level. I mean, I can't sit there and say we're as good as we were a year ago right now. Now, I think by the end of the year, and with the development of some guys, if they develop like I hope they will, I think we'll be pretty even to where we were. But I think going into the season, that's correct.
Mark, I want to ask you, I mean, what's the ammo? I mean, do you feel like a 10-win team this year?
Yeah, actually I do. Here's the thing. In Dak Prescott's
Are you
time,
going to split with the Eagles this year?
yes. If Dak Prescott is healthy for both games, yes. At least
Philly,
split with
do
2
you
of them.
think that you sweep them?
Yeah. Sweet. I got a broom.
Bro.
They're getting swept.
Like convincingly?
Let me write
The
this down.
first game's going to
May
be a destruction.
14th.
Then you're going to have a closer game in Dallas, but we'll win.
Week 12, you think that game's closer?
It'll be closer than week 1. Week 1's going to be a destruction. Dallas come out holding their ass that game. It's going to be a destruction.
What do you feel? Are you on the same line, Mark, with Michael Parsons?
You know what? I know the Eagles start out slow at the beginning of the season.
Huh.
They do. You started out slow against Green Bay in Brazil, and Philly.500 knows that. And the Dallas Cowboys are not a known quantity. You don't know what we're going to do with Pickens out there. You don't know what we're going to do as far as these running backs.
Stop the run?
Say what?
Can Pickens stop the run?
Well, if we can get into a track meet, he may stop the run for us.
Mark, here's my only concern about the offense that you guys have is that let's play a game with me here, Philly. Say you get a lead like you did a year ago, even didn't you have a lead like a 10-point lead against the Eagles because Hurts had some turnovers or something? Am I wrong when I say that the second game against?
Second game was a blowout.
Second game, I was there.
Oh, that's right. He couldn't move the sticks. That's right. And there was a complete destruction. But play with me here. Say you get a 10-point lead on them. I'm just asking you. Say you get a 10-point lead. How are the Eagles not running you down from behind? And how are you maintaining the clock and just not having 3 and outs for 60 minutes where that team is just going to start running the ball at you and they're going to start taking the clock off? They're going to keep rolling back because you have a tough time stopping the run and you have a tough time running the ball. Bro, if Dak's going to be good this year, they've got to have play action.
Definitely.
They just can't have him sitting shotgun because I think that Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, I think those guys are going to bring some pressure on that guy, and I'm not sold on Tyler Guyton yet. How are you handling all those dynamics in this?
Well, I'm going to say this offseason has been like none other. I mean, I would have never thought that the Cowboys would have traded for George Pickens. And sitting here with right now $32 million of cap space and more once they finally get Micah done, I don't know that the cake is completely baked right now. And knowing that June 1st is coming around where you're going to see a lot of play teams jettisoning veterans, there's going to be some more moves in here to try and really solidify this team. I agree with you. I don't know about Tyler Guyton and what you hear from the team themselves and basically saying the best 5 players are going to play. It doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence that they believe that Tyler Guyton is going to be the guy. Now, maybe that's all for motivation. He's been in the gym working. He's been working with Duke Merriweather and everything else, but he's got to be a hell of a lot better than what he was last year.
Hey, Philly, couple more here for you, then we're done here. Let me ask you this. So, Jalen Hurts, Time Man of the Year, Met Galas. You know, Howie Roseman's like the MVP of Philadelphia. He's got the key to the city. You see everyone parading around, all red carpet. I saw a commencement speech by AJ at Ole Miss. Hey, believe in your brand. Never let anybody talk shit on you and believe in your brand. You got all these laureates now parading around the country, going to the White House. I mean, hell, dude, very un-Philly-like, don't you think? You guys accepting awards, running around the city, getting keys to the city. You're like you're people that live in Los Angeles on the red carpet. You think there's too many distractions? I mean,
maybe.
I
think that's what makes it hard to repeat, right? I think a lot of times those are the kind of things. That's what we're going to have to overcome. It could be. It could make us start slow. I don't know. But, it's one of the things that we have to worry about, I think, going into the season.
All right. Do you want to see Justin Simmons or Jadeveon Clowney on your team? Or none?
Jadeveon, none. I'm doing what's working. All right, I'm going to play and develop my young guys. I'm going to let them go out there, and I'm going to let them learn. It's worked for me really well last year. I don't think you go away from that. If I bring in a Justin Simmons, the last thing I want him to do is take snaps away from my rookie safety. So I want the young guys to play. I'll deal and go through the growing pains. I know that they'll make mistakes. I know that there'll be, things they got to learn. But I'd rather do that than bring in a 31-year-old safety.
And here's the last one for you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this. Who's this? Who's Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn? I know who Malik Hooker is. Kyer Elam. Who are these guys?
They are guys that have a bit to prove. Jack Sanborn came with our defensive coordinator from Chicago, young guy that's looking for a place. Huh? Matt Eberflus. Kenneth Murray, who was the captain of the Titans last year, their defensive captain, linebacker, had about, I think, 95 tackles,
Titans?
With the Titans, yeah. Okay. Elam, former first-round pick for Buffalo, and, hasn't quite lived up to what they expected him to. I see you laughing there, bro.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at Philly. He's just like this. I'm nauseated right now because I'm not. You look like you're constipated right now with this cowboy dog.
Here's where you look at this.
It sounds like a bunch of restaurant managers.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. But if you look in comparison to what we've had in the past, you've got a lot more potential. Here's the thing that I like. Is every single one of these guys are guys that are on their first-year contract that are looking to get paid. And basically, most of them are first, second-round draft picks that haven't really lived up to expectations. What you have are a bunch of guys that are now saying, I'm going to be in Dallas, where I've got everybody watching me every week. You see all the games. This is my opportunity to get paid. And in contract years, for whatever reason, that's when you usually see the best out of players. Am I wrong?
Hey, Mark, I feel like I'm at a Holiday Inn listening to a guy give me a speech on how to sell homes.
Okay. So the Cowboys have no chance in hell is what y'all are saying. That we are just going to be the worst team in football. But when we come in to your house, week 1, and we kick your teeth in because we're tired of all this bullshit, all this bravado, where I've got literally Eagle fans out there saying Eagles are 1-0 right now. 1-0. It's not even a thought that the Cowboys have a chance. Don't let the Dallas Cowboys win. Because I might even show up at your studio. I'll be wherever Xander is. I'll be there with Xander, waiting for the show to talk shit to you guys.
Disappearing during the playoffs because that's always happens to the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna and you get the last because you're the champ here, Billy. I mean, the last 5 minutes you've looked very perturbed, confident. Okay, the waiters that are now the Dallas Cowboys
managers at Denny's,
the waiters that they have playing defense. I mean, with the schedule released tonight, how are you feeling about your potential repeating as champions in the National Football League, becoming the 10th team ever to do it?
I think we got a great chance. of course you have to stay healthy and all those things. But I look at the schedule, and I know you're not going to win every game. That's not the way it goes. But every week in this schedule, I expect to win. And I think there's one break on the schedule nobody's talking about. The end of the schedule is Washington, Buffalo, Washington, right? That Buffalo game may be a meaningless game for both Buffalo or the Eagles, because that's the second to last game of the season. And most of the time teams have things kind of locked up. So I think them putting Buffalo late in the year like that is going to actually benefit the Eagles.
See, one thing that I will say, and when you're talking about the strength of schedule stuff, I think Buffalo doesn't really have a very tough schedule. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. You may be right when it comes to the NFC East, Philly. Okay, you may be right that it might not, but home field advantage may be determined still with the last 2 weeks, because I think the Buccaneers have one of the easiest schedules in the league too. Right. I think the Bucs are going to win 12 ball games this year because they're playing a shitty schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, it could come down to that. That's
those
true.
Two guys.
But I could say the Eagles, I mean, they're going to play the Rams. They're going to play the Lions. So you take care of business with those two games at home. Because to me, I think those are the toughest two teams in the conference. That should give you the tiebreaker to have home field. I think home field is key.
Mm-hmm. Mark, last one. Just right now, on May 14th, you can change it. Nobody's going to hold your feet to the fire here.
Yeah, they will.
Give me a Cowboy kind of like prediction here. How you feeling? Where are you feeling right now on May 14th? Cowboys and Eagles, September 4th.
What am I feeling?
Feeling score-wise.
Oh, shit, man. Come on. I'm going to stick with Micah Parsons. I'm going to stick with the 24-21.
24-21 Dallas.
Fuck it. It's not like I'm not going to get trashed on here anyway. I'm not going to go in there with my tails between my legs.
See, now you what? Now he's right. You do set us up here. Now I know you're full of shit. All right, hang on here. You, Philly.500, how you feeling? Week
31-17, maybe 31-20 Eagles. I think the Eagles blow this thing open. I think Barkley's going to have a monster game, and I think that Dak does what Dak does. Garbage points, garbage yards, garbage touchdown passes.
He does average 261 yards a game versus the Cowboys.
Who, Barkley?
No, Dak.
Dak. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't put a lot of stock into what he did against the Eagles 3-4 years ago when he was playing a totally different team.
All right.
Plus, you got a new coach, right? You have a new coach. You have him coming off of injury. You're going to have rookie guys that have never played an NFL game in their career. You've got the banner going up. It's going to be like a playoff atmosphere. So I think it's an Eagle night, man. I feel good.
Philly, if this guy wins and that Cowboy team wins on week 1, you will never hear the end of Cowboy. Remember how they were after they beat Cleveland?
I know. No, not only that, is even if they win that game, and then let's say the Eagles beat Dallas again, go on to win another Super Bowl, Dallas does nothing the rest of the year, I'll still hear that game. That's all they'll talk about, that game. That's how they are.
Mark?
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I'm looking forward to this game, man. I'll guarantee you 50 million people watch this game.
Oh, without a doubt.
The highest rated football game. Hey, here's something else too. The Eagles have 6 right now, 6 primetime games, which means they're probably going to get 2 extra flexed.
No Christmas,
8.
No Thanksgiving.
I know. Good. I do love that. They do have Black Friday, but they don't have Turkey Day, and they don't have don't have, like you said.
I get to chill out on the holidays.
Guys, you guys were wonderful today. You guys were great.
Thank you.
Mark, there's more optimism.
Oh, you know what I tell you I like is the fact that you guys are becoming Hollywood. Because the Hollywood. Let's see how you guys can. We're used to handling that in Dallas, but I see that Saquon is looking to be collaborating with Aiden Ross that they're working on a podcast or something or
I
other.
don't know who the hell that is.
So they got. Oh, really? Barkley's got a podcast.
Well, they're talking about it. Aiden Ross. I don't know anything about him, but he's got about 7 million followers.
Is he
You
working
see,
there?
Cooper DeJean and Reed are going to put one called The Average
Yeah.
White Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
So much for Micah Parsons' podcast being the only thing out here. Apparently, other guys
Philly.
are kind of growing too.
These guys are doing everything on Eagle and on Philly, like, aren't they?
Well, I mean, Rocky had to go through it with Mr. T, I guess.
Adrian! Adrian!
Tiger. I don't know what to
Wait a
say.
minute. Are you calling the Cowboys in week 1 Spider Rico?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, guys.
Oh,
thank you guys so much. Great stuff as always.
You.
Make sure you check Philly.500 out. And also
Thank
Mark with his great work that he does covering the Cowboys. Absolutely great stuff. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Oh, boy. That was a great one. Absolutely. You know what? I like the fact that Cowboys and Eagles are going to be completely relevant September 4th, man.
Oh, geez.
That's good. That's must-see television. That's tuning in television. I'm all over that, man.
Okay,
That's
he's
good
all
stuff,
over that.
Man. Shit. Hey, dude, and unfortunately, John Ritchie does again. Why are the Cowboys getting a premier game like the opener on the opening?
We're the sacrificial lamb.
He's the WIP morning guy. You know why? Because the Dallas Cowboys are the most relevant team in sports in the world. Nobody wants to hear that. If the Cowboys suck, they cover them.
Yep.
If the Cowboys are great,
they cover them.
If the Cowboys are mediocre, they cover them. There's only one other team in American sports like that. It's the Yankees. You could throw the Lakers in there.
He's got a point there.
Those 3 teams, Notre Dame maybe even. The rest of them are filler. Stills, are you saying that the Eagles? No, I'm telling you, the Eagles are a great team. But the Dallas Cowboys, how many times I had the man who started Fox on this network. Okay? He started Fox Sports.
I want to hear this.
He told you the Dallas Cowboys are the most transcendent team in American sports. Whether you want to hear that in Philly or not,
this is true.
I don't care. Okay? Sills, good afternoon, people.
All right, we're going to end it right there with big Sills and stuff. Hope you guys were entertained with that. Now, here's what we have as far as the schedule for the Cowboys. We know week 1, we're playing against the Eagles. And this, I actually think, is to get the Eagles out of the way, there's going to be the mystery of what are the Dallas Cowboys. And then we're going to, of course, have a couple extra days before we get ready to take on the Giants in week 2, which will be great because that's, after having a couple extra days off, we get to take on the Giants. And then we got the Jets in week 3. We do know we've got the Eagles in week 12 at home. We've got Washington on Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, on Christmas, and Kansas City on Thanksgiving. So that's what we know right now. The Cowboys, if they could find a way to win, they could get some momentum the first couple of weeks. Now, we'll see how the rest of the schedule goes. As I was pointing out to them, watching Micah Parsons and the America's Team stream, and I can actually pop a little of that on right now. It's not, I tell you, it's not what I expected the America's Stream to be, pre-release show. They've been out on a golf court doing all these little games and things and hanging out. But Micah Parsons did say, we winning 24-21. Let's just listen to this for a minute before I get out of here.
I was getting it was even like falling apart. Like it was like this. It was like getting ripped apart. And then Mike McCord was like, "Hey, I think it's time that we get you a new one." And I gave it up, and I ended up getting hurt.
At
now
NFL.
I got a new one.
Got a new what?
Holding on. Hey, Captain, he was like, "You should keep this. You had this for so long."
Can we get the holding to stop on Micah Parsons at NFL? I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's hurting him.
No, I'm not super.
Okay.
Super.
I just got like a routine. Like
I got a couple for you guys. So like when you sneeze, like in Japanese culture, that could mean someone's talking about you.
When you sneeze, damn, I ought to be sneezing every minute of the day then.
Man, I did have like this pair of money undies, like I wore, like it was some PSD, like money undies.
Money undies.
And like at first, like I thought it was doing something for me, like, and then somebody took them. So
who took
wherever
your
those
drawers?
money undies are, I guess like all the luck that are in them are just gone.
Somebody else got it?
Somebody else did get, but I was snapping.
Somebody
I ain't
took
gonna
your
lie.
money drawers?
Like I still snapped after the money undies era, but like rookie year, like there were some money undies that was carrying me through some heavy duty stuff. That's about it though.
Okay.
That's nasty as hell.
Thank you. That's nasty as hell.
And I go off that game. It's
All right. I'm going to leave the money undies right there. So, unfortunately, I have some business I have to take care of in a couple of hours, so I won't be able to do the schedule release, but I will keep doing updates as I do get them, and I'll talk about them probably fireside chatter when I get back tonight. So, yeah, the Cowboys, we do know 6 of the games. Eagles, week 1, Giants, week 2, Jets, week 3, Eagles, week 12, Washington for Christmas, and we have, Giants last game of the season, and Kansas City for Thanksgiving. So we actually know 7 of the games. So there you have it, good people. As always, I appreciate you guys, and we're going to roll up on out of here with this.
Talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me?